Hello, good afternoon. We have got the most amazing show ahead. It's 2 hours of Craftalong with the fabulous Lesley Wharton. How are you?
Well, I'm nervous. I am nervous, yeah.
Well, I am so excited. As soon as I saw it, I wanted to do, I wanted to have all the kit and Craftalong. I thought I was going to be doing at home, but I'm the luckiest person alive, and I'm doing here with you in the studio. I hope everybody at home has, is ready, but if not, can we talk about what they need or what it was the contents of the Craftalong, first of all?
Okay, so you've got enough in this Craftalong to make 2 journals. The one that we're going to do on the show today, and then you can make a further one in your own time afterwards. If you can play it back the Craftalong long after the show's been finished today. We're also going to make this lovely little long envelope book. We're going to learn to use a roller in a different way to create some lovely backgrounds. Yeah. And we have the stamp, which we're going to be using.
Which is your company, beautiful stamps.
Yeah, this is launched on the show today. I know you've already had it before, but this is new, brand new, done especially for the Craftalong. Yeah. And those of you who bought the kit early will have got a jelly plate. Yeah. Unfortunately, that we sold out twice, and then I couldn't get any more jelly plates in time for the next into the show. Didn't want to disappoint. So we did another kit which we reduced accordingly to reflect that. Doesn't have a jelly plate, but we're going to show you how to use the silicone paper with the roller to create a very similar effect.
Amazing.
And the other thing is, and this is my bad, you need to get 2 or 3 complementary colours of either a distress ink, a distress oxide, or if you have the Versaclares or anything like that, because that's what we're going to braille with our roller when we first start. So if you want to pop away and get those, you're not going to miss anything very shortly, but that's the only other thing.
Go and grab it. It is an amazing 2 hour. We are not even going to have like proper breaks in between.
No.
So
no selling, nothing like that.
It's just pure Craftalong, and it is an amazing. If you want to get your kit as well, you can still. We have got a very, very minimal amount of them available, but you still can get it. So if you want to do that, you can check out your baskets, and then of course you have got 60 days, I believe, to Craftalong on rewind in our website hochanda.com. Now let's hear about what it is the Craftalong. If you haven't heard about the concept and it's the first time that you tune in, here is VT to explain how it all started and works.
Would you like to improve your crafting techniques by watching and crafting along with your favourite Hochanda guest demonstrators, all from the comfort of your own home? If the answer is yes, then we are very excited to invite you to Craftalong, where you, our presenters and guests, will create an amazing array of projects throughout the year. So tune in, be inspired and create with Craftalong, your monthly crafting workshop.
I'm so excited, but you brought 2 friends, 2 design team members, I believe.
Correct, yes.
Judith and Veronica.
Hello.
Are you very excited?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah, good. I'm so excited. Right. So yeah, how did you come up, to work with Lesley?
Well, I've worked with Lesley for a lot of years. More years than I care to remember, really. No, for a long time, 10, 12 years, really.
Yes. Yeah. And we see you as well, and on other shows as well with Chocolate Rock. And of course, and Veronica?
I've been on the main team about 4 or 5 years now. I'd had a guest spot before, which was great fun.
Yeah. Oh,
lovely, because you do things that you wouldn't normally do. Yeah. If you're on the design team.
Yeah, it is great. And I heard that you saw the Craftalong kit on Hochanda, and you purchased it.
Yes.
So you are one like you at home. Veronica is one of you as well. That you saw it, you got it, and now you're here to have a go.
So I get the bonus.
Yeah, that is brilliant. Right, Lesley. Shall we start? Over to you.
Okay.
The teacher.
Right. Thank you. Okay, welcome everybody. I really hope that we're going to have some fun this afternoon. We're going to get messy. We're going to have some natural breaks in. I think we may be getting tea and coffee, you know, maybe it's in about an hour or so. And we're going to try and take it as best we can for you. One of the things I do want to say to you is if you are crafting along with friends at home and you want to send us pickies of your little crafty party, we'd love to see them. If you want any questions, please email them in. Anything, we're taking emails, aren't we? We're taking phone calls, are we?
Yeah. Well, emails, if you have emails or even on social media, if you want to as well, you know.
On any photographs of what you're doing, we'd absolutely love it because as far as we're concerned, we're all one big happy family all over the country and we're all actually crafting along together. Okay, right. So to start with, in the kit we have a roller, okay? Now this roller is not like a typical brayer, so to speak. This is more like a lino roller, so it's quite a solid rubber. And one of the things that I've found over the years is that people have said to me, I love brayering, but I can't get a good finish with my brayer. No matter what I do, I always find that I get lines in it, I get splodges, I get blots, it doesn't look smooth. I have picked this particular roller because the idea of this is we are not going to do proper brayering. We're still going to do rollering, but you're going to achieve the results. If you've got lines in it, if you've got splodges in it, if you've got darker and lighter patches in it, that will actually work even better. So I don't want people to be afraid or frightened of a brayer or a roller anymore. Yeah. This afternoon we're actually going to make this, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Right,
definitely.
So in the kit we have some gloss silk paper. This is our gloss silk card. Yeah. And this is absolutely fantastic for brayering. You've got 4 pieces. So I suggest that if you like, you can have 2 today to practice on, and then in your own time when you don't feel under pressure, you can do this again at home. We've also got in the show, we have some extra bits and pieces if you wish to purchase them, and in them we have a pack of 25 of the A4 size of the card, together with 25 of the actual drawing cartridge, which is the pages that are in your actual journal. Yes. Okay, so hopefully this is what you need your inks for. I'm using Versaclair ink, okay, and again they're available on the show if you want them. Yeah. These aren't traditionally something that you brayer with. Yeah. These are something that you stamp with. Judith uses them a lot to blend with, I think, don't you, Judith? Okay, so we have medieval blue here and we have golden meadow.
That's gorgeous colours.
Okay, they are lovely colours. Really go well together. However, whatever combination that you like together works for you, you can use. We're only going to be using 2 colours. Okay. Okay. Would you like to use mine? I would like to pick a selection of what's behind here.
Go for red.
Okay. So we have a few behind here to suggest and try. Okay, this is what it's like at home, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You've got all these colours and you think, what am I going to use? What am I going to use? Okay.
I'm going to go for this too.
So what have you? So I have got obviously I've got the medieval blue and the gold from the kit. Okay. Yeah.
I'm going for warm breeze and what is it? Verdant? Verdant?
Is it Verdant?
Verdant, yeah.
Verdant,
yeah. I was kind of like trying to look.
It's green and blue.
Green and blue, yeah. Bright green and bright, beautiful.
Judith, what have you gone for?
I'll go for Golden Meadow and Purple Delight.
Ooh, and what have you gone for, Veronica?
I've got Warm Breeze and Morning Mist.
Ooh, very subtle. So we're all going to have, and this is the whole idea of this, we're all going to have different to each other. I'm going to have to stand up if that's all right with my camera. Is that okay? Purely because I'm so tall, I need to stand.
Some people are very tall and some people like me are very short.
We're not going to mention that. Okay, so we're going to start with the actual blue first. Yes. Okay, and with our roller we're just going to literally roll it up and cover it with the ink, as you would as if it was a brayer. Okay. Now this is more of a pigment ink, so you wouldn't expect to be able to roll it with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so do you want to have the whole thing covered?
The whole thing covered, yeah. So cover the whole of your roller. If you can see mine, which camera am I on? It's over the head. There you go, look, can you see?
Perfect, yeah.
That's inked all the way through. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now then. So, there we go. Right. Okay, so we're going to start at a corner, whichever corner you suit, but you want your paper, your card to be sort of long ways. Yeah. Start at the corner. Okay, and you start just and just roll it. Just roll it, like a normal roller. Don't think you're brayering. Just roller. And do it diagonally, because you're going to leave some white space in the middle. Sorry, they're all squeaking. You can put WD-40 on this if you like. Okay, now then, while you've got your roller there, just roll it into it with the corners, look, and create like scratch marks up and down.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Just do that and roll it again, and then just finish off. And you probably all end up with something. Okay, you're covering maybe literally half the card or a little less than half the card.
Yeah,
okay.
lovely. I love that.
So you see, it doesn't matter about the background, doesn't matter what you get.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you've got lighter and darker, that's the whole idea. Right, we're going to turn it round so we've got the white space here. On your paper that you've got next to you, just roll it again off it, just to take off some of the excess and also the edges, because as you can see, you've got ink on the edges.
Yeah.
Okay? And now we're going to go into your other opposite colour that you've chosen. Okay? So for me, this is Golden Meadow, which looks, if you've got this, it looks green actually in the part. Can I see that? That looks green.
Looks good, yeah.
Wait till you see me roll of this. It's going to be a totally different colour. So again, nicely covered. Okay, you can see. Got good coverage on there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Okay, and here we go again. So start off the paper and onto the edge. And don't go right into the middle because you want to leave some of the lighter space. And just roll it up.
Oh, I do like this.
Okay, now this is almost rollering as if you were doing it. The one thing we tell you when you're not spraying is to not roller it. With a braid, you don't use it like a paint roller. This you do use like a paint roller.
We don't have mice in the studio, it's just the rollers, you know.
Okay, and if you want to go over some of the blue with your yellow, that's absolutely fine. That also helps as well, just to tone it down.
Oh, that's
Okay, so, squeaking over, I will sit down. And this is something you should have like this. Now, can we just see that, look?
That's
Okay,
just
now
gorgeous.
that looks really random, doesn't it?
Look,
But
look,
isn't it? Okay.
look.
I love
that.
that. And the colour's
Look,
gorgeous.
Yeah, that is Veronica's with that gorgeous warm breeze and the grey, and that one is Judith's. Looks at that.
But now comes the magic. So turn over your paper so it's clean. And have we all got tissue? If we haven't, I'll pass you tissues around here. It needs to be a tissue rather than a paper towel, because paper towels have got patterns in. Okay, and this is softer, and it won't actually hurt or scratch the paper, the card.
So in this paper tissue that has got the smoothest of them.
That's right. Okay, and now this is where we go from here. And now we're going to start and polish.
Oh, polish.
So polish. Sorry, it's not an housework word.
Yeah.
It's just, and what you need to do is to polish it away, and you'll see it buffing it up.
Yeah. This cardstock is magical with this, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
So polish it all.
This.
Okay. Can you see the difference? There's the top look that I've actually, let's catch the light. There, look. There's where I've polished, and the top bottom bit I haven't done yet, so that's a bit duller. So I'll do the other. And now this looks as if it's been printed. It doesn't look as if you've actually inked this.
It's like the quickest background, but one of the most effective.
And now when you feel it, you can't even feel the ink. Oh. It's so smooth. Yeah. So can I now just show you now on the actual camera? And I'll show you here. Now, can you see it?
Yeah, look at
that.
It's amazing.
Okay.
It does look like
a
print.
Print?
Yeah, a print of an abstract painting.
Okay. So, have we all polished?
Yes.
Okay, shall we pop them in the middle? Can we do a middle shot, do you think? Yeah. And can we all do that? And can we see how...
I love those colours.
How good are those? And tilt them, look at the shine on those. The gloss.
Isn't that
beautiful?
Amazing. Yeah.
Now then, you now have a background. Yeah. Now this is done with Versaclair. You can do it with your distress. If you've done your distress, you'll also do it with your oxides. With your distress ones, you will find, because it's a gloss, you will actually get a paler version. Because it's a dyeing, it'll sit on the top. The distressing will go into the card and will polish off differently, so you'll get a different result with each one. One thing you mustn't do is don't be tempted to put one colour on and then polish it, because once you polish it, you take off the kind of what I would call the keying process that the ink keys to. Then it will just wipe off after that. So there's the card as it is. It's already a gloss. Okay, but then you do that look, and that's how you get the high gloss.
That's amazing. Heather is loving this technique. So hello, Heather.
Hello, Heather.
Remember, you can email in any questions for Lesley or for Veronica and Judith, and you know, photos of whatever step you are doing of the Craftalong. Please do email them in at the studio. The details are at the bottom of the screen.
So this, I hope, will now stop you from being frightened of a roller, because it doesn't matter. We've got patches here. We've got different depths of ink. This. Previously, brayering, people have said, oh, that's not good enough, and people have been frightened to brayer for that very reason, because they've thought, oh, I've got lines in it, I've got stripes in it, I've got lighter bits of ink here and darker bits there. Look at what you can create. That can be a background that you can now stamp on. If you're going to stamp on it, you need to use the stays on, because obviously you're stamping onto a non-porous surface. You can use it to die cut through it if you wanted to. It can be a matte and layer for your other work over the top. You know, it could even become the pages of part of a journal. You could use that, stick that on, cut it up, make it a cover. There's all sorts of things you can do with that.
That's brilliant.
And we've started to season our brayer.
Oh, so that's amazing. So it's a technique as well as seasoning the brayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's put these away.
Oh.
Okay. So again, you've got plenty. You've got, as I say, another 3 pieces of this cardstock in your kit. So there's 3 more for you to try with, and as I say, if you really like it and you like the drawing cartridge, then you get a whole pack.
Yes,
if you want to. Okay, so back to our roller. Can we just clean it off?
And of course, I think this would make.
Yes,
I love it.
I always like this. I mean, we've got some interesting combinations
exactly,
here.
Yeah, look at that.
You know, look at that. There you go.
We have got a question from Sylvia asking if this technique would work with a high gloss card that she might have at home.
Do you know what? I tell you what, have a go. That's all I always say to you. Because I don't know what kind of card you're using, have a go. It's just a piece of cardstock. Cut a small piece off so you're not wasting a whole piece if that's what you're concerned about, and just give it a go. But as I say, put all the ink on that you need to and then polish it last.
Okay.
And see what happens.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Leslie.
Excellent.
Yeah. Right.
So here we go. So now then, we're going to get out a jelly plate. Now then, for those of you that don't have the jelly plate, I'm going to get on to how you can create the same type of things we're doing, but with using the roller. Okay. So just bear with me. I'll start with a jelly plate, and then we'll move on after that. Okay. So have we all got our jelly plates? Okay. Now, I know you, Paola, said you like the size of this.
I loved it because I have to mention my friend Jo, who taught me how to use a jelly plate, and she taught me with this size. So then I bought a couple of different sizes, and I was going to buy this size because it's such a useful size. Yeah, it is the most useful for card making, for art journaling, for art, you know, it's just...
The other thing about it is, like everything else, it's not a huge surface. I've always found over the years, whether it be scrapbooking, whether it be card making, the bigger surface, the more daunting it can be. I don't know, have you found that, Veronica, Judith? You know, it's one of those things where, I've got to cover all that surface. We start with this. If you like this one, then you may want to progress to a larger one.
And I would say that don't feel that if you invest in a small one, then you'll have to. Oh, then I have to go progress in a bigger one. It's a perfect like me. You know, I have been looking to get that one for a while because it's just. It's the 6x6 is great, but then this one is is it 5 by?
This is 3 by 5, 5 by 3. Yes.
So lovely.
Okay, so we've also in our kit we have got a block.
Yes.
Okay. Now then, your block, unless you've done it, is blue.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to pull off the actual covering, both back and front, that's just the protection.
Yeah, is the.
Okay.
So then I just pull it up.
Take the peel off the back.
And that has got a protection as well on that side.
Okay. Now this has been specially made for us to my size and design because it's ideal for turning your jelly plate into a stamp. But also it's the correct size to fit the largest stamp within the timeless stamp kit that's already in with the box.
Okay, so it's a multi-use.
Yes. So some people don't like to use it with the actual acetate, the polyester that it comes with. I like to be able to lift mine with that, but not everybody likes to. So if you want something that's a bit more rigid, or you want like the idea of being able to pick it up and placing it onto your work rather than the other way around, having the stamp plate will help you do that. And of course you've got that acrylic block for all sorts of other things as well.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to put mine on a plate.
I'm going to do as the teacher for once in my life. I was a little bit of an... No, I was fairly good. Fairly good.
Right, so we are now going to use the acrylic paints. Now, again, as an extra, as an add-on, I have got these, which are wonderful. If you want to try them, they're absolutely gorgeous. And these are fluorescent.
Oh, wow.
So they are very vivid and very bright. And if I turn them round there, you can see them.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have got fluorescent yellow.
Yes.
In the middle, hiding, we've got the fluorescent blue. And then we've got the fluorescent red. And the reason why I've chosen these three colours is because, if you'll notice, they are the primary colours. Yes. And whenever I talk about colours, stop waving your hands around, Lesley, on the camera. Whenever I talk about primary colours, I tend to pick them also in inks and paints and also in pencils. Because if you have three primary colours or three deviations of a primary colour, you can then go on, you can make purples, greens, oranges, all sorts of combinations of colours. So these are great to work on their own, but they're also great to work together and create different colour combinations. Perfect. If you don't have them, don't worry, as I say, they are available if you want them. I'm going to use them in combination with others. But again, I've told you in your kit to have some lovely colours that you like to work with, and we're going to work with no more than 3 colours. If you just want to work with 2, that's fine, but if you work with more than 3, we're going to get mud.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is,
so 2 colours, 2 either contrasting or complementary colours, all work well. So, are we all going to choose our colours, girls? What would you?
I'm going
You're
to
going to try with those.
Bright.
Would you like to be the first to choose what colour you would like?
So, just do I have to choose just the one?
No, you choose what you like. It's fine.
I'm going to go for... Oh, well, because I'm going for greens on... is it better to go for contrasting or analogous colours?
Contrasting is good.
Okay.
But there again, we're going to do quite a bit of this jelly plinting. And what happens is you start putting colours on top of colours.
Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to go for yellow and blue.
Okay.
So then it can work.
That's absolutely fine. Yep. I'm going to go for, so I will share it with you, I'm going to start with the orange. Well, it's not an orange, it's a fluorescent red, but it's quite an orangey colour. And probably the yellow. What have you chosen, Judith?
I'm actually going for a yellow and a red.
Okay. And Veronica? Ooh.
Golden copper.
Oh. I see, class down that end. Golden copper. Right. Now then, the one misconception that people have with a jelly plate is that you need to put on loads.
Yeah.
And you don't. And when I say a small pea-sized piece of paint, that's exactly what I mean. Because you can overload it, and if you load it, you don't actually pull a print. All you get is a sloppy lot of paint.
Okay.
Okay? So, let's start. So I'm just going to take this one here is a very fluid one. So if you've got a thicker acrylic, you might need to have a slightly bigger piece, because some acrylics are thicker than others. This is, as I say, very fluid, and I've chosen it because it's so fluid. For those of you that might be new to a jelly plate, this is excellent for getting into the hang of it. Once you understand how a jelly plate works, you can experiment with other acrylic paints that you've got.
Yeah.
So if you're going to choose a couple of colours, I would just dot one of one colour at the top and the bottom. Okay, can you see I haven't taken a whole amount there?
Yep.
Okay,
And
now
then-
Judith's are slightly thicker, so you might need a little bit more. And don't be frightened to put a white in if you want to.
Well, that would be cool.
A white's a good one to put in, because a white one will actually, it'll obviously make your colours a bit more pastel and subtle, but it also helps blend without taking away the colour completely.
Could you use a pearlized white, for instance?
Yes, you could. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. One thing I do have to say is some of the things you've got to be careful of. This is actually, the jelly plate is actually porous. So you have to be careful what you actually put onto it. Don't use anything scratchy or hard, because that will actually damage the plate. The other thing that you don't need to do also is to use anything that is too absorbent. So using purples and pinks, okay, especially in an oil base. So you wouldn't use a Versa fine ink pad on this. You wouldn't use a StazOn on here. You wouldn't. You can use distress inks. You can use your distress, as in your distress ink pad. You can use your oxides on here. Clairs I would keep away from, because Clairs do have an oily base, and what happens is it leaches into the actual
That's very important. Okay.
Okay, so just to try and give you a few tips of how and how not to. But if you're still unsure, there is actually, if you go onto the Jelly Plate itself website, that it will also be able to tell you exactly what you can and can't use and how to look after it.
Perfect.
Okay, right.
So
So I'm going to now put on my other colours here. I think I've probably got a bit too much on, but there we go.
if you have got too much, what would you recommend to do?
I would recommend to take a tissue or a piece of kitchen roll and just lift it off. Okay, and put it to one side, and put it somewhere else if you've got enough, or just put it to one side. But again, we've got messy mats on here. Now these messy mats we've got are fantastic for what we're going to do today. Just don't use a heat gun, girls, because they are messy, but they're not heat proof.
Okay, that's fine.
Right, so with our roller, and this again, this is another reason why I chose this roller and this Jelly Plate. They're just so cute together.
They are.
They're a great combination of size. Okay, so you're not going to get too much paint. It's not going to be too wide, too big.
And I love that you can have it
You can
upside
stand down like that, and it
and
doesn't get anywhere. It's a good solid weight of roller without being too heavy. Okay.
And it has a nice handle as well.
Yes. Let the roller do the work.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Judith? Are you having still a bit shake with your?
It's a bit.
We're having a little bit of acrylic paint problem at the end.
That's fine.
Okay, right, so you can do one of two ways. Now light, again, we're not rollering on this, we're actually going to do it very lightly. Okay, so just lightly, up and down, and blend your paint. So you can do it across, you can do it down. The idea is to get a thin lower layer on your Jelly Plate.
I'm already loving this.
Okay.
And look.
Okay. Okay.
They're lovely.
So, now then, you should have lots of spare card with you and paper. And I'm just wondering where I've put mine, and I haven't got mine ready.
Oh, do you want some? I have got mine ready.
I found it. It's here. Thank you. So you've got paper. Don't use gloss paper, because gloss paper will stick.
Okay.
So any card you've got, any copy paper's good. What you're going to do is you're going to lift your first print. I've just got, mine doesn't want to. Okay.
Everybody's loving. Thank you for the emails. We're getting a lot of emails that everybody's loving the technique.
Thank you,
Lesley. Thank you.
Okay, so you can do one of two things. You can lay your paper across like that. Or if you want to see where you're going, because you can see through it, put your paper on the bottom, and this is where your block now makes it become a stamp. So you can do one of two things. So you can either level it up this way, or you can actually put your paper the other way. If you're going to level it up this way, can I suggest that we put it down like so and press, and then lift it up and turn it over? Because the idea of a print is you're going to literally pull a print. So you need to make sure that the paper, and you can do a better adhere for the paper to the actual block than you can the other way on. So the first one can be used for actually lining it up, and this one is for doing the painting, the print, okay? So are we ready for the big reveal?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so this is our first print. Oops, our first one. Oh, come on. Mine dried in the studio, but there we go, look.
Oh, I love that. Just a die cut, a black die cut of a flower, a wild, you know.
Yeah, that can be your background. You can stamp on that. You don't have to do any more.
And then I'm just going to lift mine as well.
Okay, you ready to lift yours?
All right, so let's see. Let's see.
Oh, wow. Love the colours.
I love that.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Look at it, yeah. And can we show
Judith?
Look at that, gorgeous. Oh, I love.
That's very rich.
Yeah,
very rich, isn't it?
It is. But the yellow's coming
and then
through.
we've got the Queen of Class down the end. Look at that. Look at the pearlised effect on that. Isn't that gorgeous?
And every time it will be a little bit different.
You'll never. It's a bit like using brushes and things like that. You will never ever repeat what you've done. Now the next thing is, do not take off the ink. If Judith's got quite a lot of paint left, You have a little bit, Veronica. We've been a little bit more sparing, both Paul and I, so we don't have any left on. Now we're going to put another layer of paint on top of that, and we're going to roll again.
Yeah.
The one thing I would have said to you is, with your roller, we're very warm in here. I've got some water here just to roller mine up to keep it, if you want to roll as yours. Do you want to? There's some water behind you, Judith, if you want to do the same.
Could you use a spray?
Yes, you could use a water spritzer, just to keep it clean.
Yeah, you have.
Or I have suggested, I think, in the actual handout, that you could use a wet wipe, a wet cloth.
Yeah, wet cloth.
And just give it a quick rinse over. Okay. And that's more about not trying to contaminate your paints. I don't mind contaminating colours on there, because this is where you get the real fun.
I see. So it's the contaminant.
So we're going to have one more go at this, and then we're going to use the silicone paper. Okay, so those of you without the jelly plate, please bear with me. We will get to you very, very shortly.
Okay,
so another combination of colours that you think will go well. So I'm going to go now in with the blue on this, and possibly the yellow, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking red. And
okay.
So a little dot, opposite places.
Yeah. And if you think you've got too much, you can dollop it off, which I just have, because I've got far too much on there.
And then yellow.
And I'm going to go yellow with that one as well. I'm going to go with the red again.
And I think the size jelly plate is great, because like leftover paper, you can convert it into like perfect matting and layering.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Okay, so again, lots of sweeping across and down, just to blend it all in. And what you're looking for is a nice little even coat.
Yeah. So
don't worry if you've actually got, now then, if you've got paint on your roller excess now, if you've got a spare piece of card, which I have somewhere, she says.
If not, you can use one.
I have got, I tell you what I've got one of our MDF hearts, our whiteboard hearts here.
Yep.
You can roller it onto something else, another piece of artwork, into your another journal, so you can use it afterwards. So I've got one of our hearts here, and I'm just going to take those colours over there, look.
Oh, and then you have got already...
And then I've already got something else that I can stamp into and use that. You can actually use that now to pull another print if you wanted to.
Okay.
Okay,
so
how are we doing, everybody?
Yeah, I am really enjoying this. Can I mention that I had the opportunity to take the day off, and I said, no, I can't. I want to come in and do this. I have been looking forward to the Craftalong with Lesley for so many weeks, and I'm learning so much already.
Thank you. Thank you. I take that as a real compliment from somebody who's been in the business as long as you have, Raoul. Yeah, we've known each other a long time.
Yeah, we have, and let's not talk about it.
Okay, ready to pull. Look at this one.
Oh.
Okay, there we go, look.
This is stunning, and the depth of it.
Yeah.
That is just... right, so I'm going to reveal mine. There is something incredibly... look at the edges from the blue.
Yes, exactly. That's why I've said you do not keep changing, because it adds to what you're doing.
I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, adds what... Oh, Judith. Oh. And look at that, because Judith's now pulling the colours that she had on from before with the blue over the top.
Look at that yellow's coming through. And And it's something really magical every time.
Yeah.
The reveal of it. And Veronica...
Oh, look at that. Now look at how rich that is.
Look at that gorgeous reds and golds.
Isn't that gorgeous? Okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
Right. Now then, we're going to use our silicone paper. So if you ladies want to get yourself organised with cleaning rollers, and I will go on and talk to the ladies out there who don't have the jelly plate, and I'm going to take the silicone paper, okay?
Okay.
So, my silicone paper, which I had to hand.
That was included, wasn't it?
Yes, the silicone paper was included.
Yeah.
There we go. You have, I've already cut mine. I'm just away. I've got my own camera now because I've been stretching around here, and so hopefully, hi guys. You have 3 sheets of A4 silicone paper, okay? And this is actually, should not work because it is a non-porous surface. It's quite slippy, but I thought I wanted to just, you know, as you do, how will this work? And I love the fact what happens with this is that we will build up some layers on our jelly plate, and as we start to lift them off, it will actually pull some of the paint back, so you get that distressed look. And because of the type it is as well, we can scratch into it and give it an even more distressed look, so we can actually then make it unique to ourselves. So, if you've got your large sheet, can you tear your large sheet, fold it in half, your large sheet, okay? I've already done mine, so I've got half here, and then fold it in half again and tear it into quarters. So you've actually got 4 A6 sizes, because an A6 size will fit beautifully with your jelly plate, okay? Right, if you haven't got your jelly plate, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to now use a messy mat. Do you want me to move that water so that you can actually see what I'm doing at the minute? Okay, so I've got my messy mat here. Move that.
Yep. Well, we need to mention that the Craftalong kit has sold out again, yet again. Thank you so much, everybody.
Absolutely.
We do apologise, but it has been incredibly busy, the Craftalong, and we are very, very happy that so many of you have seen the amazing creative potential, how Lesley. But of course, keep watching, and remember that you know, we'll offer different alternatives if we can throughout. But also remember that you know, Craftalongs are an amazing opportunity. And remember that they will be on the website for 60 days. So please, if you cannot record it, just go back into the website to watch it.
Okay. Are we all right?
Yep,
Yes,
cut it into
we
4,
are.
you said.
Sorry?
You say cut it into
Yeah, into 4 and then tear it, so you've got 4 A4 pieces.
Yep.
I'm going to then get along now with the showing the ladies how to use it without having a jelly plate. Okay, so I've put 2, I don't know if you can see somebody on the overhead, I have put 2 amounts of paint here onto my messy mat, okay? And I'm going to now roll them and blend them together, look. Now, you see how you blend the colours together like that?
Yeah.
So my roller is now fully covered, right? I'm taking my, I know it's hard to see, but this is my piece of silicone, and I'm going to look at this. I'm going to roll her off here and onto here, onto my silicone paper. Okay, now we have both air conditioning in here and we have heat.
Yeah.
So this is drying out very quickly, so I'm just going to put some more colour on there, and I'm going to just add perhaps a little bit more yellow. Okay. Again, I'm using the same small amounts of paint on my messy mat that I would have been using had I been using my jelly plate. So that way you don't actually over ink it, because you can always add where you can't take away.
If they don't have a messy mat, could they use a glass mat?
Yes, glass mat, anything that's got a non-porous surface where you can do what we're doing here, which is actually mixing our paint on our roller and then we're doing it onto our... Okay. So, and I would just keep building the layers up.
Yeah.
If you want to add some different colours, so if I wanted to put a little bit of blue on that, I would do.
That is, I love that as well. But it's amazing how the roller does the hard work
The roller
for you.
does the work for you.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to mix some blue in now, and I'm going to do that over the top, look, and give it a little bit of a... Change the direction of your rollering.
Just going to put a little bit. And the fluorescent colours
are
amazing.
Aren't they beautiful?
Because I was afraid when I first saw them that they would be too harsh.
Yes,
but
and
they
they're
are not.
No, they're beautiful.
Yeah,
you can also water these down as well, and you can do colour painting with them as well. So they've got, again, like I always do, they've got a double purpose.
Yeah. Sue is asking where she can get, or anybody can get, silicone paper.
You should be able to get it from your baking store or anything like that. You know, the silicone paper that you buy for your baking.
Yes.
So that kind of silicone paper will work. Greaseproof paper won't, because greaseproof paper is that, it's greaseproof. Silicone paper is slightly different.
Yeah, it does.
And it allows you to put the gliding on the top. With the greaseproof, it'll go more into blobs of paint than actually roller. So can I just show you now? Thank you for the question though, because that's how we are learning.
Thank you, Sue.
Right, my hands now, I think.
Yeah.
There you go, there's my background look.
Wow.
So that's without the jelly plate.
Yeah. So it's kind of an amazing way of using your roller, and then look at mine as well. That I just love it.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shall we set that aside for those? Now we're now going to go back to the people who have the jelly plate.
Yeah.
So there we go. We now need to decide what colours we're going to use. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to bring the paint water back in. Sorry.
Yep. Are you right?
Excuse me. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I've got a swimming pool here. Everybody's holding their breath, thinking, there's going to be water everywhere.
I'm going to use a roller, you know. A roller, a spritzer.
Yeah.
A spritzer?
Yes.
Mist? Whatever that is called.
Okay, now then, choose either similar colours that you've had or different colours. But what I'm going to say to you now is this. We're going to be doing our covers and starting the other part of it very shortly. So rather than have two colours that are too contrasting, I'm going to be using the blue book cloth to cover our journal. Now everybody got blue, and some people got gold, and some people got like a purpley lilac, because again, issues about having enough of everything. So I'm doing blue. You choose what colour you would like to do today, and then you will have the other colour to do at a separate time. So whatever colour you choose, think about that and pick accordingly the acrylic paint colours that are going to either contrast with it. If I can show you one that I did.
Yes, of course.
You've seen the one that's been used, has been showing you what we were using for the actual finished project. This is one that I did.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
I love that. Yeah.
So you see I've gone totally opposite. So that was the gold book cloth that was in the original kits. And I've done this with turquoises.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
That's
So
gorgeous.
this one, as you can see, has been done with that. So think about the colour of your book cloth. The one that we did on the actual one I've done as the sample is very, very, very orange and blue, so it's very opposites. Yeah. You might want to do something that's a little bit, oh, thank you, we're going to get that handed in.
Sure, a lovely
You like to show that one, Paula?
Oh, look at that one. That's just amazing, isn't it? Look at that. The blue.
Okay.
Look at that. Oh, I love that. It's just kind of, you can choose, you know, you are given
so
an
you
option.
decide what now you're going to use. Pick the colours that you want to be seen within your, because that's what's going to act as part of the front of your book.
By the way, we have had an email from Caroline with a beautiful pictures. Look her results so far are amazing. Look at that. Look at those jelly prints.
They're gorgeous.
There.
Wow.
I mean, look at the blues.
I know. Absolutely fantastic. Wow.
That amazing. Keep coming with the
please
pictures. Please do email us.
Oh, fantastic.
You know, just email us at studio@hochanda.com, and please, and if you send them, we will share them on air if we can.
Okay, so now then, we're now going to put the colours onto our plate. I'm going to use blue again, so I'm thinking of possibly using some of the. You can also use. Can I pinch some of your orange? We've got some of these paints here.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about, ladies down there?
Oh,
choices.
Choices.
Are we enjoying ourselves, Veronica?
Yes.
Judith?
Yes, definitely.
Good.
I'm having the best time. I'm having the best weekend ever. Just saying. Thank you to Leone. Just one. I have to do that.
Could I pinch one of your brushes, please? I forgot to bring my brushes in. I just need to, just so I can take a little bit of the paint out here.
This one will be all right?
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you. Just so I can put some paint.
So I might go for. Shall I go? See, colour is
too
such
many
a
choices.
just too many choices. Yeah. I'm going to go for this sort of.
Just remember, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
because I do know we have some gentlemen who bought the kit. Just remember that even on a jelly plate, you will get mud.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So, you know, that's okay. That's a glue brush. Thank you for trying to bring the paintbrush. And there's the orange. So I think, do you know what? I'm going to take some. Ooh, could I share some of that? Thank you.
That's this.
Okay.
And
so if you want to put it on with a brush, that's absolutely fine. But just remember, small daubs, not too thick.
Yeah, just.
Can I give you that one back? Thank you.
Yeah, look at that. I just love. So can you use any acrylic paints in here?
Yes, just be careful that some. I wouldn't suggest you use your very good ones. So golden and the likes of those are lovely. And I think that those are great to finish off afterwards as a top colour, but cheaper ones work better. Some of the really good ones have got some. I've got more of a. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that I'm on number 6. Just shout, Lesley, I'm not in the right place.
Yeah.
Your better ones are actually thicker. They also hold a lot more properties within them that don't necessarily work well, and cheap ones work on this. And if you get hooked on it, like a lot of people do, the cheaper ones are the best.
Okay, so perfect.
Okay, so I've now got my combination of colours, which I'm about to go.
Shall I go for the green?
Okay.
I think I'm going
Like
to go
so.
for analogous colours.
And you should have now a quarter piece of your silicone paper. And because you can see through this, you can actually just go straight onto it
Okay. Oh.
and actually start to press into it and lift your first colour. It will wrinkle a bit, but that's all part of it. Don't worry about that. That's the idea.
Yeah, that's...
And then, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's mine. Now,
That is gorgeous.
okay. Now, if you don't have to do, if you don't want to, if you're happy with the first print,
Yeah.
you don't have to then pull another one.
Yeah.
Okay. I am actually thinking now I might add another colour to that and press over the top of that. She says, I'm also going to take my original, I go on the top of my original heart and create some build up there. What I am going to do actually now is, I'm going to take, if you have, I suggested some die cuts or some sort of shapes that you want to actually put, or if you have a stencil, you can now put a stencil onto this as well.
Okay.
And pull off the ink that's still on there.
Yeah.
So I'm using the heart.
We have had another picture from Christine. Sorry, just getting very excited. Look her make so far. Look at that
look
vibrant.
at the top, isn't that beautiful? Wow, I recognise there the fluorescent paints that you've got.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Christine.
I'm actually taking now, this is one of our hearts again, look, and I'm actually pressing that into my gel plate. Okay.
Do you recommend something that it doesn't have hard edges?
Yeah. Oh, no, hard edges are okay,
Oh, okay.
because it gives you a distinctive image. So I'm going to pull that now, look. It's taken off there, and there I've got.
Oh, wow, I love that.
Okay. And now, that is now going to give me a little bit into my next my next print.
Okay, so of
Okay.
course it will get the negative.
Yes. So I'm just going to ink over the top. I'm actually going to add some more ink, some more paint, I should say. So
I
let's
think
go in
I'm
a bit
going
with
to
the
go
yellow.
for a little bit brighter. I kind of now like my fluorescence.
And all we're doing now is we're just building up layers. Don't worry about, the idea is you've got the previous one underneath. And what happens is the top one moistens the one underneath, and it helps you to lift the colours that are below.
Now, I have a question. I don't know if it's could you use gesso?
No, gesso dries too quickly, and
Okay.
it's very chalky, and it will not actually pull.
Okay,
It'll just
great.
dry.
Perfect.
The properties within the actual jelly plate,
Yeah.
drink it in.
Okay, that's good to know.
So I'm now going to do it over the top of. So I'm now pressing over the top of my original one that I just pulled.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what may or may not happen is that may. Yeah. So there you go. Look, so I've got a different colour on top of that again.
But you have got like lines
Yes,
and the colour
and
underneath
underneath.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Can we? There you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna go.
I'm going to leave that. Okay.
I'm gonna go in.
And I'm going to use now. Then also within the kit we have the little brown envelopes.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so with the little brown envelopes, I'm now going to use this. I'm going to put some more paint on there. And if you have some on your roller, you can roll it on again. And I'm going to take my little craft envelope and I'm going to press it now into the actual jelly plate. Now, because it's a craft envelope, it's more porous, so it will actually soak in the paint and pull it. So the smoother the surface, the left. Sorry, I keep doing that. The smoother the surface, the more ink's left behind. The more grainy the surface, the more it pulls. Oh, look at that.
I just have got like
So,
yeah.
Here we go. I've now, look,
Oh.
pulled. There we go, look.
How it is absolutely brilliant, isn't
There
it?
we go, can you see? Look at that. So that's my front of my cover of my mini book done
Yeah.
with that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so if you want to now, if you've got a layer of paint on and you want to take on now your envelopes, okay, you've also got within that little kit of the envelopes, you've also got 2 small pieces of card, okay, which you can either brayer onto, which I'm just going to do, look, just to kind of finish them off, okay, for inside, or you can leave them blank. It's entirely up to you. but I'm just using my excess paint.
Okay.
So that's in with your little pack
Yeah.
with the 2.
Yep.
Okay.
That's perfect. Yeah.
So I'm now going to put some more paint on this. Don't matter about the colours you've got on. Add some more paint to it.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's keeping up at home. Are you Veronica, Judith, are you both okay?
Yeah. Sylvia has emailed in and said how I already learned so much, and so have I, Sylvia. It's such an amazing thing. Thank you, Lesley, for that.
Thank you.
We are getting so many emails, and we try to mention everything. Everybody
thank you so much. I've got to say, as I said at the top of the show, very nervous. This is to me like it's the same as doing a workshop live at home with everybody. I always get nervous because I know you've paid good money to get your kit and do this workshop, and you always have that doubt, is it going to be good? Are you going to enjoy it? Are you going to get good fun out of it? So if you're having fun at home like we're having fun here, then we're all absolutely, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. It's just like I'm going to go in. I have got a little bit of white pearlescent in paint.
Wow. I've now taken some more onto my jelly plate. So I've taken my second envelope, and I'm going to again place it on here. I'm going to press it in, okay, and I'm going to do another pull, and this is going to be the front and back of my little mini envelope book. Okay, so you see, because this is porous, it takes more off. So look, there we go, look at the back of that.
Wow, that's amazing. And this is like the pearlescent. Look at that.
Look at that. You see, I love the subtlety of that.
Yeah, exactly. And you have got a little bit of the,
I love that. How we do it, Judith, you've got a very, very interesting combination of colours on your jelly plate.
Yeah, it is. Let me show you. It is an amazing reds and yellows and browns, and it's just so beautiful, isn't it? I could do this all day long.
So I'm using my roller and my spare piece of little pieces of card that came with my actual little envelope book kit.
We have had a question about the roller, and the roller was part of the Craftalong kit, so it was this special roller. Unfortunately, it has sold out. This is one of the things that happens with Lesley's Craftalongs, that they do sell out, and there are plans for another one in the new
next year I shall be doing one probably in the early part of the year, and hopefully one in the later part of the year. So
when as soon as it announces it, just if you like the look of it, just make sure that you get yours as well. So.
Okay, so we're coming towards the end of the first hour, I think. Gosh, where's that time gone?
This is amazing.
So we're going to be stopping for coffee and tea very shortly, very briefly, while we regroup. However, can I just say at this point, before we sort of start again, we're going to have our finished piece of silicone paper, okay? Silicone paper. We're also going to hopefully have our 2 envelope pulls as well. Okay? And then we're going to be ready to start putting this together and doing it. In the second hour, we're going to first start by doing the front cover of our big art journal.
Yes.
And while that's drying, we're going to be able to put together the little mini book, and then we'll come back and do finishing covering off the book.
So amazing. I mean, now is the time to do your crafting if you want to, or getting a cup.
That's it. Don't worry, leave at the moment. I'll explain how you can clean this off at the end. Don't worry about your jelly plate at the moment. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. You see, if you put other things in, if you've used a stenciler, you will see the difference. You'll see all those little things coming out. Oh, yeah, and that's just using a little miniature stamping block, isn't it?
Block. Yeah, it's what
as long as it's soft.
Yeah.
So, anything that's gentle and isn't sharp and doesn't have a point, you can create patterns in this. So you could actually do some almost like marbling effects, comb effects, all that sort of thing. You don't want a sharp point. Don't use anything that's metal, because that will also, you won't see it, but it will very finely cut into your plate, and then it won't work properly. Yeah, she's having fun over here.
I am just like having a bit. Oh, look at that. Yeah. We have had another picture from Anne. So Anne has emailed in, and remember, you can email.
Wow, look at those. Now you see all of those backgrounds you've got.
Yeah.
You can trim all those up now. You can stamp onto those. You can create a little book with all of those.
Yeah, well, which is what we are creating. So
Yes.
then you can, or cards. I do think that these will work very well for cards.
They're just such a lovely handy little size.
Yeah.
And if you go to craft clubs and things like that, they're just so cute to carry. They don't take up a lot of space.
Yeah, they don't.
You know, and if you say, because you've got the block in there, if you like the idea of something that you can stamp with and you can place with, it's so much handier to use. How are you finding it using with the block, girls? Judith?
Yeah, all good, yeah.
Yeah. Veronica, how about you?
I didn't have it on the block.
Oh, well, you see, well, that's what it's all about, doing it with or without. What do you think about using it with a block?
I prefer it with a block because then you can do it as a stamp or you can see it better. I love that is a perfect size for it, and I, just kind of quite random cleaning up, but I just love. I mean, it does look like a little bit of a mobile. But bubbles, but it's just cleaning but I would take that and then incorporate it into my creations, and even if it's a copy of paper.
Okay, so we're going to leave this time now, as I say, coffee and tea. I haven't actually heard the clanking of the tray yet.
No, I haven't either.
We have a very special
Yes.
We have a very special tea lady.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's going to be joining us very shortly. So
while we are having a little cleanup in here, is Janice had to tell us more about freedom, how it works at Hochanda.
Hello everyone, I've got a minute or two to tell you why you should all be members of Hochanda Freedom. Did you know that with Hochanda Freedom you could be saving on your deliveries every single month? For just a £6.97 monthly fee, you'll benefit from unlimited standard delivery, which means the more you spend with us, the more you save. And do you know the best bit? You can cancel at any time. Becoming a member of Hochanda Freedom, you'll also be able to take advantage of our exclusive Freedom members discounts, where you can save anything up to 20% on an already fantastic Hochanda price. Freedom members will also receive our exclusive members badge and Freedom newsletter, which will keep you updated with all the goings on behind the scenes. Look at all these benefits for £6.97 per month. Over 12,000 of you are already members, and we thank you so much for being part of our family and sharing your crafting passion with us. In fact, I'm going to hand over to you to tell everyone else about your experience with Hochanda Freedom.
I'm a Freedom member, which means I can shop a lot.
It's the discounts and all the special offers you get.
I get special offers, I get special discounts. They tell me when everything's happening. So if there's a special show I want to watch, then it's there.
I'm able to just shop when I'd like.
It's just good to have.
Yes, you do save. If you buy like I do, you save.
You see, you could be a member instantly for £6.97 per month with no monthly obligation. So when you want to cancel, you can. Just give us a call or go to our website, quoting the item number 888 888. So, don't forget you get your unlimited standard delivery, exclusive Freedom discounts, members badge and members newsletter. What are you waiting for? Join Hochanda Freedom today and become a member of the growing Hochanda family.
Welcome back. If you have gone to get a cup of coffee or tea, we are in the middle of our Craftalong, which is an amazing 2-hour show that we are running on the Sunday, once a month, I believe. And this is Chocolate Rock with Lesley Wharton, of course. She's teaching us how to create our own art journal, but of course using the jelly plate, using her beautiful stamps as well and beautiful acrylic paint. We are joined as well by Judith and Veronica, and this is what they have been doing with the envelopes included in the Craftalong kit that unfortunately has sold out. Well done to everybody who got theirs, but that is what happens. It gets sold before the hour, and then we have got some in for the hour, but of course everybody has jumped into the phones to get theirs. Look how gorgeous textures. I do believe that's yours. Oh, so I'm very heavy-handed sometimes, and there, here you are, Judith. So what are we going to do next, Lesley?
Okay, I'm just getting ready for bits and pieces myself here. But what we're going to do first is we're actually going to start with our cover with our, I shall come back to that. I haven't done what I told everybody else to do. I haven't scored my pieces of card, which I said to everybody, it'll save time if you do it.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't do
I
mine.
haven't done mine either, but you know, I always been the kind of naughty students. Let's not talk about that.
Okay, so now we are going to be doing our covers. So we need to get our pieces of covers. So we have got in the kit, we have the long piece of white mount board.
Yeah. Okay.
And we have the shorter piece and the small piece. So that is your front and back cover.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me grab my one. There it is. That's that one. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to start on the small piece of the board.
Yeah.
That's part of the front cover. Okay.
Okay.
So we need that. We're going to need one of our stamps. Now I'm going to use the big clock stamp, but if you want to choose anything else out of the set, that's absolutely fine. And I'm also going to need, you're going to need your jelly plate piece that you've done on your silicone paper. So those are the pieces, that's what we're going to need to be able to do next. So there's my stamp. Do you want to share my stamp?
Yes.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
I was going to say, no, I want to use my own, but mine hasn't been cut to size, so, you know. There are alternatives for the stamps as well if you want it from chocolate or rock.
We've got our ephemera ones are on as well if you wanted to use those. But as I say, this is the one that's in the kit. Now then, we're stamping onto this whiteboard, so a VersaFine is absolutely great.
Yep.
Okay.
And that one is the original VersaFine?
That's the original VersaFine, the black, black onyx. Now, if it's a brand new stamp, because there's quite a lot of solid rubber, if you want to just glide your ink pad over the top to start with, that gives a good coating. And then, when you then lightly tap it, you should then have a good even coating.
That makes sense. So you kind of have a richer layer of ink.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm now going to take my shorter piece. Okay, and I'm just going to, now then, this, if I can show you the original, this book again here.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, in my hands, is it? Yeah. So this is the part where we're going to stamp. So it's almost, I would say, 2.5, 3 inches.
Yes.
Okay, into the cover, and that's all we're going to stamp. It doesn't matter if it goes further over, but this is the, we're not going to cover the whole, we're just going to cover this bit.
Oh, I see where we are going now.
Are we with that?
I think I'm going to go for
so
these ones.
This stamp is so big,
yeah,
you can decide where you want to. So I'm going to do that. And it doesn't matter if you say, if you go further, than where I've said, because you will be covering that up with your book cloth anyway. So you decide. Now then, there's lots of splots and blats and definitions and all sorts of things in this kit.
Oh, it's amazing.
And you can actually should be able to define that. So if I take that off, there you go. Look, how's that?
Oh, gorgeous.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Now it is slightly not because I've done it sitting down. I don't normally stamp sitting down, so I haven't been able to put as much pressure on that to get it as dark. But it doesn't matter because you're just going to see a flavour of that through the actual covering from the silicone.
I kind of. All right. So let's do this.
Got all that, and then set that to one side once you've done that.
And then I'm stamping. I have got several stamps here. I just gone a little bit rogue.
That's fine. No, that's fine. That's what it's about.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. If I can show you something that I actually did, I've got some artwork that I brought with me using the hearts. This is using the other bits of the stamps. And this was created on one of those hearts that I had before. So I used some of it. Doesn't want to come out the bag. So I used some of my excess inks off when I rolled it. Look, there you go.
That is gorgeous.
Okay, so that's using the splats and the blots and the there's a barcode in there as well.
Which I think is brilliant.
And the small individual clock on its own. So there's your piece of artwork on its own there with those stamps.
That's gorgeous. I love that.
Okay.
All right. So. Oh, look at that. Oh, can I see this? To me, it's a card.
Yes.
Or you know, just a piece. Look at that, just the splodges in there. And they look different because I overlaying them as well. Oh, I love that.
How are we doing? How are we doing down there? Lovely.
Yep.
Oh, fabulous. Look at these two. Perfect stamping. Absolutely perfect stamping. Oh, amazing. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, your chocolate Baroque stamps are very good, don't you know?
Do you know, I've heard that. Yeah. We, anybody who doesn't know our stamps, or this is the first time you've come across them, I do say we guarantee our stamps for a lifetime if you look after them.
Yeah.
We do guarantee them for a lifetime.
And they are grey rubber.
Grey rubber.
Deeply
And
etched.
there's all sorts of things that you can do with them. So if you use clay, if you want to do triple embossing, you can even put pour hot enamel on them if you want to.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Okay. So set to one side, and now I have got my piece of. Is yours dry, ladies? It should should be dry.
Yeah.
So if you've done it very pale, now what you need to do is you need to do it up over, so you've got the colour up over.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now you want to be able to see. What we're going to do is be able to see our stamping below. Now if you've used a very dark colour, you may not be able to. So if your paper hasn't pulled back and taken paint away, the beauty of this is, if you take a fingernail or the back of a pair of scissors, you can start to loosen the paint on it and you give that distressed look. So it's up to you whether you use a fingernail. I tell you what's really good on this, a nail brush, just a very fine nail brush, just to take bits away from it.
Yeah, or something, yeah. Or, you know, that kind of a bone folder as well with the...
Yeah, I can take the bone folder, so the bone folder's good. Look, just to scratch into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you want, this is what I'm doing. Look, I'm taking bits out.
Yeah.
I'm also going to take bits out right down that edge. Look.
Yeah. Oh.
And now you have that kind of just peeled paint, distressed look.
I'm going to use this one like kind of, it's as a lighter version, like I kind of like.
It depends what colours you used as to what you're going to get.
Yeah. Oh, so. Oh, that one I can. Oh, that's a
so
nice
what
one
you're doing
well.
almost is not a scratch and sniff; it's just a scratch and reveal.
We have got somebody very special bringing us teas and coffees. Yeah. So, hi, David. David is.
This is the gentleman who makes all your stamps, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Dave.
wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you so much, David.
Look at that.
That's green tea, not your tea.
Green tea. That's
Wave
green
at the
tea.
camera, turn round.
Turn round. There it is. That's brilliant. Thank you, David, so much.
Okay, right, you carry on, ladies and gentlemen, and I will start pouring.
Oh, not only Lesley is teaching us, she's also serving us tea. I mean, it is the best day. We do have got some pictures that you have got. You send it. Here is Claire's, who is crafting along
fantastic.
as well. Look how gorgeous. She's using a stencil, hasn't she? Beautiful. I think that's Leone's ones, actually. Look at, love that.
Oh, wow.
Blue stars. This one is
stenciling through as well, amazing.
That's it. This is from Susan. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sending this, Susan. Yeah. Oh, this is great. And if you remember that you can send pictures as well here at studio@hochanda.com. Anything that you have been doing so far, that we love to see it, because that is what the Craftalong is all about: learning and sharing it. Like basically, we want to feel that you are, we're crafting with you as well, so we love to see as well what you do.
Thank you so much, everybody. You don't know how much it actually means to me. It's taken a lot of putting together this kit, and I'm just pleased that everybody's enjoying it. What would you like, Paola?
Could I have some tea, please?
Yes, black tea or tea with milk?
With a little bit of milk.
A little bit of milk.
Our lovely producer.
Call from the gallery.
It's like, well, hot chocolate. I think one day I'm going to bring a Spanish hot chocolate, which is the melted chocolate with churros.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, that's right.
There
Thank you
Paola.
so much, Lesley.
And because we're spoilt here, ta-da,
okay.
we have biscuits.
Biscuits, even biscuits. Well, we do have also a chocolate cake in. Well, I'll have I'm just trying to be good. All right, I'm not going to be good.
No. Veronica?
We have got a great cake, chocolate cake that our Abigail from, you know, that's...
Oh, wow, yes.
It is Avid Crafts, which has made the most amazing cake. Thank you, Abby, and thank you everybody who came yesterday and surprised me as well. Thank you for everybody. We have had another picture from Alison, which is... look at those beautiful blues.
Again, I see those fluorescent colours from the acrylics.
I think it's just...
They work so beautifully, don't they?
They are absolutely beautiful. So thank you, Alison, as well for those pictures. Now, so
I have got now. This is how I've distressed mine. If you can see, I've actually I put all the but there is a reason. So I've just distressed mine back. You've left a little bit of yours showing, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I kind of
because you've done a very pale one anyway.
I have.
And the beauty of the silicone paper is you get that translucency, so you can just see the image coming through.
That's amazing.
Okay, Judith. Oh. And Veronica.
I love that. Yeah.
Oh, look. And they're gorgeous. So they're going to see the stamping through beautifully.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, a pair of scissors, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. And where did I put mine? There we go. And you just need to trim off. Okay. So, need to trim off the long edge. So, you need to trim it right up tight for the long edge on one side. Okay.
The one that is touching the base.
Yeah, the long side here, trim off right to the edge.
Okay, yep.
Leave the other one, and it'll be something that's possible why you need to do that for turning for folding over. And just trim down a little bit on each side, but leave enough white space round it, because that's going to fold over.
Oh, I see.
So if I can explain, if you can see mine, look, that's going to go like that. That's going to fold over like that, and you're just going to be left with the...
Oh, I see, yes.
Okay?
Of course.
Does that make sense, everybody?
It makes perfect sense.
Okay, I'm just going to do a little more scratching down there now.
Yep. I love this, because the stamps are just beautiful.
And the beauty about this kit is afterwards you've got the stamps forever.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
And the projects, as long as you don't give them away.
Yes. Now, somewhere on here, this is starting to look very much like mine at home.
Yes, don't mention that. You know, it's just, you know. Let's see. Yes. Oh, we know why David was a little bit late for the tea. Look at that. This is look at David, Ningy, and Sandro eating the Abby's cake. That was amazing. Thank you, everybody. You know, I hope there is some cake late for me, but I did have a taste before the show, so you know, it is amazing.
The words naughty step and husband go very well together.
They do. They do.
Okay, right, are we ready? Hopefully at home you're all ready to go. Yeah. We're going to now take our glue and our glue brush.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got a little glue. Okay, now the reason I chose this glue, which I was explaining to you just before the show parlour.
You did, yeah.
Judith's already, you've used this type of glue before, haven't you, Judith? Yeah. I don't know if you have, Veronica.
No.
I'm going to open mine up. Now, some of you got the larger one, same principle. You go back to get more, and I had to get small 3 ones, but you've got the equivalent in 3 small ones. When you open it up, it's got a black. The small ones may have a white one in.
Yes.
Okay. Like what I would call a little bung, a little stopper.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see?
Yeah.
Now the idea is that when you're ready to use it, you take out the little stopper, set it to one side, and just leave it. Don't lose it. Okay. And when you have finished crafting, you rinse out in lukewarm water the whole of the little stopper. So this is your little actual glue. Nib, whatever you want to call it. Rinse that all out, dry it thoroughly, put the stopper back in, put this back on, and this will never get stuck up, never dry out, and your glue will never dry out in the bottle either.
That's amazing.
That's the reason why I chose it.
Good choice.
So, what we're going to do now is we've got a glue brush, and we're going to spread our glue onto the back of our paint. So on the back, not the front, on the back.
Which is a little bit more milky, doesn't it?
Correct, yeah. So, and you're going to glue all the way across because you want to be able to stick this all the way around your actual cover.
Yeah. Okay.
So, here we go. So, it doesn't have to be absolutely soaking, but it's good if you get a decent, slim, thin coat because you want to make it to be able to bind and if necessary slide about to get it into the right place onto your actual cover.
So you want it to go up to the edges, even the white ones?
All the edges, all the way around.
All right, yeah.
Okay, now we're going to lay it. So the easiest way to do this is to have your cover with your stamping facing the top.
Okay.
And we're going to lay this, whoops, not like that. Okay, so the edge, and you can see through this, so you've actually got the edge of your pattern or your colour lapping over the actual cover itself. So that means, in effect, and just slowly lay it down gently. So it means that you're going to have colour all the way over the edge of your actual journal.
Yeah.
Now you should now be able to see just very vaguely all your stamping through it.
Yeah.
Okay. Turn it over and fold the two sides in, longer sides, straight into the middle. Like so.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And because of the type of paper it is, it will go down very, very easily.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right. Now then, take a pair of scissors.
Yep.
And just to say, cut a corner off like so. Don't go too near the edge of your corner, otherwise it'll poke through.
Yeah. Okay.
And create a diagonal like so.
Okay.
And then just take your glue brush again and just cover those, because those are the edges that haven't been glued.
Yep.
And then, like a little envelope, as if you were sticking it shut, just fold it over the top. And you now should have perfect corners.
Yeah.
And if you're unsure, take your glue brush and just glue back over the top, because this is silicone paper, it'll all glue down into them. The boards also be specially token because it takes glue beautifully. And you should have that like that.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Now, while you've got your glue out, I need you to put a little bit of glue on the front now of your actual, that you've done. You think, oh gosh, what have I done? And the reason you're doing this is because this also acts as a sealant. So it'll stop any more of your paint from flaking off.
Yeah, because, yeah.
Yeah. So brush across and the top and the edges, right the way across. Doesn't matter if you get it onto the cover, all in the one direction, look. And all you're doing is, you don't want it to be too gloopy, but you just want to be able to seal it down, and that will seal in your paint. And when this is dry, and this is the reason we're doing this bit now, when that is dry, if you can feel that one, Paola.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as if it's been glued at all,
Nope.
but you can't take the paper off either.
Ah.
Stops the paint from coming off.
I think I have used the lighter one. I should have used the one with more contrast, but I still love it.
Yeah.
I still think it just kind of adds another dimension. Look at that. I
That's
love
beautiful.
that.
I love that. So there's mine.
Yeah.
Okay, now fully glued.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, I
You
love
can
that.
see it's glued, look, but you know, we'll leave that to dry. It should dry very quickly, this glue. Judith, oh wow.
Look at that, yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, we have got 40 minutes. 40
40
minutes.
Oh, wow. Good God, we need to get on. I don't know where the time's gone.
I think we should cancel anything else and just carry on. You know, I'm just, just saying.
Okay, right. Moving straight on then. If you've got as far as that, the next thing to do is to take one of your pieces of your book cover cloth, your book cloth.
Okay.
No, they're both the same size, so at this point in time it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our cover, and mine at the moment is covered in green paint because I've been scratching bits of paint off because I kept wanting to make it a bit different. And we're going to glue this.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to actually put the glue onto the cover to start with.
Why is that?
The reason being is because you want some of it to absorb in. If you put it directly onto the cloth, it won't work quite as well. We will put some on the cloth, but you need to put it onto here first, just to give it kind of a base.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, understand it.
So again, right the way to the edges. These glue brushes are excellent for this.
Yeah.
And after you've finished your glue brush, put it into lukewarm water. Don't let it go, stiff, dry. Lukewarm water, a bit of hand soap. Wash it out and leave it to dry, and you'll have it again.
And could you use just for glue, or is there any other techniques you would
I tend to use this just for glue because it's the reason why this is a glue brush is because it's more of a stiffer haired brush.
Yes.
So the glue spreads rather. Sometimes with a softer haired one, the glue goes into the actual barrel.
Yeah.
This doesn't. This stays within the bristles. So if you look, you actually get a better and even spread.
Yeah, it's like a brush, a spatula, basically,
Yes,
like
it is,
bristles.
yes. Right, now then, let's just quickly put a little bit, if you can see, on the overhead. I'm not putting a load on there, and I'm just literally, like as if I was doing wallpaper, just pasting over the top of that for the moment, and that's just to get a little bit of base to go on so it'll slide.
Yeah.
We'll put some more on when we get the cover on itself.
Yep.
Are we okay, ladies?
Yes. Yeah. We are. Thank
Okay.
you. Yep. Does it need to be a full cover?
No, not at the moment. We'll do some more when we come to fold the edges in.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So once we've spread that,
Yep.
turn the cover, glue side down, into the centre of your book cloth, like so. And you can just judge this by eye, but it's been cut so that you've got plenty of overlap. And press it. Now, if your roller is clean, which mine isn't clean and dry yet, but I will soon do so.
Mine is. Do you want to use mine?
It's okay. It just because I'm going to do this on the book cloth, so you want to make sure that you've got no ink on the.
I'm going to be a little bit of a rebel.
Okay.
Can I?
Yes, you can. Don't have to ask me. That's fine. Right.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do first is now all around the edges, we're going to take our glue and we're going to squirt quite a nice bit of glue all the way around the edge of our book cloth. Okay.
Yep.
Like so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And now take your glue brush and spread that so it's up to the edge of the book cloth and also up to the edge of the cover.
Right. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Now it will absorb a little bit, so you might need to put a little bit more on. It doesn't need to be swimming.
No. Yeah.
You know,
just
you just need a good fine cover. Yes, exactly.
Yep. Okay. I just love how we are doing now bookbinding techniques that are just such an old, beautiful technique, and we're learning so much, Lesley. Thank you so much.
The reason why I've done this one is because the whole idea is because it's supposed to screw at the end.
Yeah.
It means you can undo it all. You can take your pages out, and if you're like me, I don't like getting sometimes my paint on my pages below.
Yes. Yeah.
And no matter how many times you put a piece of other card or paper in, you always seem to manage it, or you can't get it to dry. With this, you can take your pages out, you can distress them, you can do what you like. Once they're dry, you can put them back in again.
Yep.
And also you can add to it.
Yep.
So, right, long sides in again. Start at the top and pull from the middle.
Yep.
And then just work towards the outside.
Yep.
Okay? And press, because it will take it.
Yeah.
And just press firmly. And if you've got your roller, just roller it, and that just helps it to bind in. Okay?
Yeah.
And again, the same with the bottom. Pull up from the middle. And this just means you get a nice, neat, tight edge along the cardstock. And again, use your roller to help roller it in.
So it's a multi-use roller.
Yes.
It's not just for your acrylic paints. It's just a tool.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to come to this part here. Okay. Now this is where you need to get a really nice corner.
Okay.
So we're going to do the same as we did before. So we're going to cut slightly, not to the corner itself, away from it. So you get like kind of that square edge. Can you see that there?
Yeah.
And the same here at that edge. If you go right up to the edge, what happens is it will poke through.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I'm going to this time cut off that excess piece of material. Okay. Now, if I can just show you, I haven't gone, when I've cut it off here, where am I on the camera? There. Can you see? I've left a little bit just at the edge, so that when you fold that in and that across, you'll get a nice tight finish. If you cut right to the edge off, you're going to see the card below the cover.
I don't know about you, but I'm having the best time. I just love it. You know, it's just, and Judith and Veronica, how are you enjoying it?
Yeah, very quiet there down there.
Well,
what you don't see is they've all got the tongues out and they're all concentrating like mad.
Well, that's good, because it means that they
I
are
hope you're all still enjoying it at home and you're having such fun.
We are having a lot of,
so
comments
if you're
as well.
ready,
Yeah.
we'll just fold that little bit that we've cut, just fold it in.
Yeah.
And then again, same as we did with the little before, just fold it down, look like we did with the silicone. And now you should get a nice tight edge look. take your roller and roller it. Okay. And what you should have now, if I can just show you, look, is those tight edges, look.
Oh, like that. Yeah, you have done fabulous. Me, not so fabulous, but you know what? It's fine.
Okay. And the idea, this is the reason why I put a second kit in, was so that you could actually recreate this under no pressure at your own speed and be able to then think, I don't have to rush this.
Yeah.
So this first one is possibly even just a practice one for you.
It is.
And then you can do another one after that. And I don't mind, if you want to take this as a template and copy it onto paper and cut out your own card, your own covers, and redo it again and again and again, please do.
Yeah.
You have got all the pieces in the second part to be able to do that, and you'll be able to recreate more and more if you want, because these make lovely gifts for people too.
They do, for Christmas. It's like,
yes.
And you could put pictures. It could be not an original, but just like, you know, pictures that you from the year or past Christmases or events. Oh, I love that.
Okay, so let's go with this top one again. So if you missed it the last time, I'm going to put a bit more glue on here across the top.
Yeah.
Like so.
The finish is
I'm
amazing.
Going to take, this is wipeable book cloth as well. So if you make a little mistake or you get paint on it, as long as you wipe it off while it's still damp, you can wipe it away. So let's cut down, like I said, like there, not to the end, on both sides.
You could stamp on this, couldn't you? And
as long as you had the right ink, yes, you could. It would be a more texture finish because obviously it's got that canvas type feel.
So you could use maybe a StazOn or hybrid, permanent archival.
Yeah, that would be the one.
Yeah, that would be.
So,
that's amazing.
Okay, so that one there.
All right.
And now we'll cut the other one off the same way, so not quite up to the edge, and just leave a little piece here.
I think Judith is so much neater than mine, but then again, you know, like.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to spread my glue that I've put on there like so. Fold those little bits in. Press that down. And there you go. You have those again, those clean edges like so.
That's amazing. Perfect.
Okay. So while we've got this cover, if you're at that point now, I hope I'm not going too quick for anybody. Right. We now take one of the pieces of the cartridge paper that's been cut to size, the long cartridge papers.
Okay, so what would be...
The pack of cartridge paper. I can't find mine. It's here. I know I've got it. Don't panic, Lesley. So you know the long... You had 20 pages of cartridge paper.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
Oh. I did have.
Oh, well. It is
here because I put it out this afternoon. It has to be here. I'm just not quite sure where.
Which is yours? You know, it's just like, we'll find one.
Yeah, can I have the pack shot one, please?
Yeah, sure.
Because mine suddenly isn't there. I found it. It's okay. Found it.
Why is so special, this drawing cartridge paper?
Right. There's a lot of people like the watercolour card.
Yes.
Judith can also explain well about this because you use it a lot. Have you used it a lot, Veronica? Do you use our drawing cartridge a lot? Yeah. A lot of people like watercolour, but watercolour card has got a texture to it.
Yes, it does, yeah.
And when you stamp, you get that uneven finish.
Of course.
But I like what watercolour does. So this is the equivalent to hot pressed watercolour paper, which is the smoothest you can get without the cost. So you can throw anything at this. So you can paint with it, you can use pencils, you can use colouring pencils, you can use brushos, you can use inks, paints, anything you want on this. Stamp on it, colour it in with fine watercolours, anything you want. And it reacts the same way as a watercolour card would.
Yeah, amazing.
So this can be this can be a sketching book, this can be a techniques journal, it can be whatever you want. So you get 22 sheets in this, 2 of which act as the front and back cover. Oh. So take 2 out and put the others to one side for the moment. This has been cut perfectly to size for this. So same principle, lots of glue, and we're going to glue it in place.
Okay. So to the cartridge paper.
Yes, this is going to seal in all your workings and coverings of your book at the back, the cover.
Which I have got some to cover up, so
this will cover all. If you've got any mistakes, this will cover it up, Paola.
Oh, don't we want that for our lives, generally speaking, you know.
Okay. I hope everybody's keeping up at home. I hope we're not going at too fast a speed.
And remember, the Craftalong will be as well on the website, so you will be able to watch back for 60 days as well after after today.
So here we go. I'm trying to keep my rubbish down as best as I can. So this is being cut, as you can see, just to say to the edges, look, inside, and give you a perfect fit. Okay?
Yeah.
So take your roller now, and then just roller that on to bind into the card and the paper.
That's amazing. Oh, wow. Oh, lovely.
Okay?
Yeah. Oh, look. Oh, I'm just so into this. I just kind of, I'm in my own world. I was just like, I'm just rolling.
Paola's not here.
Yeah,
so
I'm not here
hopefully now we should have, there's the front of our cover done.
Yeah.
And we turn it over, and there's the inside, look, all nicely sealed.
That's perfect. And you know what? I think this would make, if you like to do the artwork in here, and then just 2 holes, and then hang it up, that's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And just it gives that finish.
Yes.
That professional, like a cheap way of doing a frame, but
absolutely.
But it just looks stunning. I love these proportions as well. It's just.
I tend to like long, slim books and things. So I thought, it's a different one to. If you were to buy this in a shop, it would be quite, good to buy. But you have the pleasure of having done your own.
Exactly. So what's next then?
Right. Okay. I want to see how this is dried. Mine's still a bit tacky, which is, if yours is a bit tacky, this is now where you need your heat gun.
Okay, not mine is right.
Yours are probably over.
Yep. Francis is asking about the blue fabric or the purple fabric that we have used.
This is it's called book cloth. You can buy book cloth. This is from a professional book binding supplier who provides all the stuff for binding books, for covering books, etc., including marble paper that you see inside books. So this is proper professional book cloth that you've got here.
Yeah. So it has got it's a cloth on the front one side, and on the other is kind of a paper?
It's kind of a paper material, because it has actually been like a cloth. It is woven. So if you were to pull it like a canvas, you would still get threads.
Oh, I see.
So it is a proper cloth, purely designed for covering books, because it obviously needs something that's hard wearing, and that's what this one is. Having said that, if you put glue on it and let it dry and then try and rub it off, you'll take the top off. But if you want to dry it, or you make a mistake and get it wet, slightly coloured, covered with paint or something, just take a very, very slight damp cloth and just rub it.
Yeah.
It's not waterproof, so you can rub the top surface off, but it will take away some spills or anything from it. Mine's dry now.
Yeah, mine. So it's mine.
Is yours dry? Yeah. Everybody's dry?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to do the back to make it dry.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So there we go. So now we're going to take our second piece of book cloth. Okay, now this is about the only thing that you're going to need to do some measuring and cutting with. Okay. I'm going to take that away because that's full of glue, and get myself some more, because I did bring some more. Anybody else need more paper? Are you all right?
Oh, I think I'm fine.
Okay. So let's take our cover and the little piece that we've got here. We also will need our other cover, because we need to sort of do a measurement by eye. So biscuit and everything out the way, Lesley. Try and move all the rubbish. I think possibly that, if I have a nice floor manager at some point, excuse me folks, I'm just going to disappear and put that on the floor. Right, there, I've got a bit more space now. Okay, so this is actually bigger because it was easier to cut this to the correct size when we were doing it. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up, we want that to be just slightly over the edge of your silicone paper you're covering. Okay. Now then, turn it over the other way so you can get an idea of where you're going, and this is your template as well. Okay, so using that as your template, this has been specially cut so that it will create, when it goes together, that gap so you can open up your cover.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so put that in one place, put that in the next place, and put your book cloth to the edge. You can do it underneath if you can see. Can you see where we are? So slightly over, so you can't see the join.
Yeah.
Just at slightly over the edge there, okay? Can we catch that on the top and overhead? Is that seeable?
Yeah, weird.
I'll take my stamps out the way, it might help. Now, take your other little bit of board that you've got, and line that up with the edge of the end of this part of the cover. So now we should be able to see we've got that right the way along there. Can we see that?
Yeah.
Does that work for everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
Now take a pencil or any other tool, and we had 2 of them on here,
Yeah, I do have got.
and now none of them are on here.
I've got a pencil. You know.
There was 2 pencils on here I
You want to
purposely
use
put
mine?
out.
Yeah.
Okay, so allowing maybe about the same amount we had before when we overlapped, just make a little mark at the top here.
Yeah.
So can we see where I've done mine?
Yep.
Okay.
About an inch.
Yeah, an inch, about an inch is fine.
Okay.
Okay, just to that side, and we're going to take our trimmer, and you just need to trim that edge off.
Okay.
Okay, so trimmer, here we go. And I'm just going to trim it. Don't throw this bit away because we need this bit as well. So there's my spare bit, and there's my bit that I've got for my cover.
Do you like my trimmer?
No. Do you want my small one, Judith? There you go. It goes under the little.
Yep.
There you go. Okay. So now we'll have a spare piece which we're going to need. So
Okay,
just hang on
so,
to that, okay? And then we have this smaller piece of book cloth, and we have the actual little spare edge side. This is the little index piece of this side. So same principle now. We need to glue both pieces of the cover first. So on the front, okay, and go a little bit up to the line, a bit small glue. Okay.
And going in.
Okay.
Time goes so
I
fast
know.
when we are having fun.
I will explain about the little book as well after. So again, just to say slightly over the edge of the front of your silicone paper.
And of course, if it dries, it will dry. Like if it overlaps too much, it dries completely clear, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does. Yes. So don't worry about that. That's the whole idea with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've done that, and we've done the cover itself.
Oh, and it spreads so nicely, this glue, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does. It spreads really nicely. Okay.
And then.
So hopefully you're at that stage. Now then, keep your back cover in place.
Yep.
Okay. Now then, this is by eye thing. So what you're going to do now is, you can do one of 2 things. I know where the edge of my paper is because I can see from this thing. So I'm going to put it in the middle again here, but just slightly allow a little bit of overlap as we discussed.
Yep.
Just a little bit. So we've got that. So on the front, look, we've done that.
Yep.
Okay, and on the back now we've got this. Okay?
Yep.
Go back to your front cover, lay it in place. You're all right because you've got no glue that can stick it. And take your little extra piece and put it in line with the top of that and with this. And if you've got enough glue on it, will wiggle around anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so that should allow now. So that should be exactly the same size, flush like that.
Perfect, yep.
Okay, so I'll take that away. So now that's how you should have that.
Yep. Oh, it's kind of. Yep.
Okay, and now we need to glue. So as we did before, onto the book cloth itself. Okay, oops, oh my goodness.
Do we have to put any glue between the edge, between the two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And a little bit in the middle of that.
Yeah, that's good.
And that will become obvious in a minute how we're going to deal with that.
Yep.
So brush again, oops, stuck to my paper. And away we go here. And make sure you go right up to the edge of your cover as well, because that hasn't been glued as yet.
Yep.
And it gives a good fast bind if you do that.
Yep.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Okay. And into
the cover we put a little bit of glue on last time, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to with this one because it's a lot smaller.
Okay.
You don't have to.
All right.
The reason we did it on the last one is a good question, Judith. Nobody heard that.
Yeah.
Judith said the last time we put some glue onto the actual book cover itself. Because this is a shorter piece, you don't need to. Okay. Because the other one was a longer piece, it's more liable that it doesn't stick down as well. So not on the shorter piece.
Mm.
So we've got to that stage.
Yeah.
Do the same as we did before and fold from the top in the middle and press down like so. Okay, and the bottom up, and the same principle like so.
Yep.
So at this point,
Yep.
it's like that.
Yep.
Okay, do exactly the same at the top as we did at the other. But before we do that, take your bone folder.
Yep.
And you need to fold down the middle of this, just to start it off, just so that it does that, and do flex it a bit like that, okay?
Oh, I see.
Right?
Yep.
Now we're going to take our spare piece of book cloth and we're going to put a piece from the short edge. We're just going to cut or trim a setch off that's about 1.5 inches, something about that size.
Yep.
Okay? Do we all get that one?
Yep.
So from the shorter edge, so you had this long bit, so you cut it from the shorter edge. And now we glue that piece of book cloth into place.
Okay.
Okay. Concentrating more on the middle and the outsides. Okay. And this is so that when it all puts together, you don't see any of your joins, any of your joints. And it acts almost as a hinge. So
I see.
if you lay that across the middle like so, roller it on just very quickly. Make sure you don't get any glue on your roller. Now what you're going to do is again take the bone folder and do that.
And is it to create a proper hinge?
It's to create a hinge, but also to create that well inside. So if your book's cloth's moving, don't worry about it, it's meant to. Okay, and then turn it over and do the same on the other side. So you now get, can you see, you've got that channel there. That's so your book look can do that.
Yeah, so it kind of flaps over.
Yes, yeah.
This is amazing.
Once you've done that, make sure you're not getting a glue on your front of your book cloth, which is what I'm doing because I've got it all over the place because I'm conscious of time now.
Yeah.
Do the same at the top as we did the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, so cut it off diagonally like so, and again like so. Cut out your little bit in the middle like that, and the same on this side like so. Pull, there we go, and fold down. Oops, edges in, doesn't help I've got a plaster on. Fold edges in and edges down, and there we go. We now have again. Use your roller. Okay.
Yeah, lovely.
So we're now at that stage. How are we doing, everybody? All right?
Yeah, I think I'm all right. How are you doing, Judith?
Okay.
Yep.
Right. We have one piece of cartridge paper. Again, the second piece. And again, lay it on here. It's the full length. So you need to take your pencil, if I can borrow your pencil again, please.
Of course.
Okay. And it's been cut correctly. So you just either side of the little channel that you've got here.
Yeah.
Just make a mark slightly either side of the channel like so.
Yeah.
And then if I could use the trimmer again, please. Or just a pair of scissors if you can't.
I have got my trimmer here if you want.
Oh, that's fine, thank you. And all I'm going to do now is to divide this up, which is to make sure that I've got a piece for either side of the. There's one. Cut that little bit out in the middle, like so. Judith, do you need that back again? There we go. So what I have now, bring my book back in, and I have the inside completion for there and there, like so.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing.
How are you doing, Veronica? You all right?
Yeah, yes.
Judith, are you okay? So now again, put that on. Let's glue that into place now.
Yeah. I love this drawing paper.
It is
it's
lovely.
Just
yeah.
It's just amazing.
Anybody out there, if you've used it, we'd love to hear, because we know that you're loving this. We can't keep this on the show. It sells out every time we have it on the show.
Yep.
We have it in the show today. We have it with the silk gloss card that we used right at the very beginning. And we also have, so there's 25 sheets A4 of the drawing cartridge, and there's 25 sheets A4 of the silk gloss card that we had.
It's amazing. I think it's really nice weight as well, isn't it?
It is. It's a 220 gram weight.
Yeah. So
GSM weight.
So it is cards.
It is. Yeah, it's a good cardstock. It makes a nice cardstock. You can also emboss into it.
Oh.
You can die cut it. Believe me, when this came, I tested this for everything you could do with it before I said yes, we're going to go with that, because I've been looking for a long time for something that you could use that wasn't as expensive as, I love hot pressed watercolour card, but it really is expensive.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's about £10 for about 5-6 sheets.
I was using hot press for nearly all my DT samples, and now I use this for all my DT samples.
Well, that's a recommendation.
Yeah. Leonie's had it as well. Leonie's tried it. She likes it.
I love you feel the quality of it. You feel
Yes.
that you're going to get results. And I always think that it's so nice to work with quality materials.
Yeah.
We are, well, I consider myself a paper crafter. Therefore, everything starts and ends with the paper.
Yes, it does.
You know, or cards, in this case.
It does, and we like to bring quality at a reasonable price because we understand, pennies and things. So,
Exactly.
Yeah. How are we doing?
I love that. Just like, look at, I was just thinking that, and it's just so lovely. I just love, what am I going to put? I mean, if you are crafting along, please do email us. Still, we have got a few minutes in the show,
Would love
so
to
do
see.
email us whatever you have been doing. Also, what ideas you have to put in this art journal, or if it's a photo album, if you wanted to use it for, or just quotes or diary, or it's just
Right. Okay. I'm conscious of time now, so I want to go on to I want to do that little book. While you're all finishing off, I'm just going to talk about around this little book that we have here, okay?
Yeah.
We have, in the kit, you had the little book, and you had what I hadn't done, which was the bits, excuse me, I'm very rude, talking away from camera.
That's all right. This is
You had these that you actually scored.
Yes.
Okay, now the idea is this is very easy, so you don't need me to show you too much with it, okay? So this all folds up. I was going to score this again, but I didn't, so I'm just doing by fold by eye. Okay, so you have two pieces, like so. Okay, so you will have them. And what I tend to do is do it the opposite way around as well, so you get a nice neat bend. You will have a little bit trimmed over at the end, but don't worry about that, we'll talk about that bit. Once you've done it, okay, you've got a little bit at the end. Take your scissors and just neaten it up. Okay, so you've actually got that. So you will have two pieces like that. Okay? Take your little cover, and slot that
Isn't that clever?
inside there, like so. And take your other cover.
Now that is clever.
Thankfully, that should be actually folded in. Fold the tongue in of your envelope first. Then put it in like so, okay, up to the edge. Take your little piece that you've painted, and that fits perfectly over the top to seal it in. You do the same on the back. So when you get to this bit, you'll have another piece, which you then join here, and then the opposite end goes into this part, like so. Okay?
Yeah.
And that becomes your book. We have one actually that was, I don't know what happened to the actual one that we had with the kit.
Original one, let me see.
The original one.
Sharna
I'm
will
sure
find
she'll
it.
find it.
If anybody can, Sharna can.
And then I can explain what I've done. But that is so that, and what this is, you get a double extension. So if I can, this little envelope one, please, Sharna, if you don't mind. That is so easy to do.
Yeah.
That one, yes. If we could hand that in. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry, Judith. Thank
Okay.
you.
So this is now before you stick it together, I've used our stamps from the ephemera kit, the big postcard, and I've used the stamps from the original one in this timeless today. And then this is the inside look, so it creates the inside finished, and that look is your.
And then you could just stamp in here,
Yes.
stamp
anything you want.
flower and colour, different techniques as well.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice? Like I'm thinking, the same stamp and different techniques every time, every page in there.
Judith's done that before, haven't you, Judith? Where you've done a journal and done something different in each page. Now, people are wanting to know how to finish this off. So, if you've got a crocodile, if you haven't, if you've got a normal hole punch, even if that's a school punch or something like this, you can still do it. You have a piece of card, and hopefully I can find this. Yes, you have a piece of card in the kit, a little piece of grey card. Okay. And this acts as your little template because it's the same size as the front of here. So punch in either with your punch, wherever you want it to be. You've got to remember that you've got to be able to get your punch in. So I'm using my crocodile as it happens on the longest one, and I want my holes to be there, say, and there. Okay, but you can do that with the punch. So you could do that with the punch and put it in where you wanted it there, and the same on the opposite side, measure it. That then acts as your little template. You lay that over your cover, take your pencil and make your mark, or take a pokey tool to start it off through, and then you take your crocodile. So I'm going to just do this like so. So either your punch or whatever you wish to do to choose it. Okay, make sure your fingers aren't, it will go through, just be careful. Just to start you off. Okay. And as I say, it will work with a normal hole punch. A lot of people said, oh, I haven't got a crocodile. I understand that, but I did design it so you could use a punch too.
That's great, that's...
Okay, there's my holes, look. Okay, and you'd either line that up there or use your crocodile. Line that up there. And one. Now actually I'd make sure that this isn't quite dry because we've rushed this. I would allow it to dry a little bit more because it's quite full of glue.
And that would be because then it will make it a little bit more flexible, and then it will not punch
exactly.
as well.
Yeah, exactly the one.
That's
okay. I hope everybody's enjoyed this. I have to say,
it's been
you don't know where the time goes.
I don't think anybody can. It just
uninterrupted hours is just.
But it's so.
So can I just?
Amazing.
Sorry, I've got a cluttered desk here, but there. Look, can you see what I've done? Okay, there, and you've got the screw posts which come with the kit, which are here. And I'm going to use the journal that I've got to explain how this works. You would actually do the same on the back. So you then use this cover now to draw through, so everything, and you use the same, before you put the screws in, do the same with all your drawing cartridge as well, so you make sure all the holes match before you put it together.
Okay,
Okay, and these are the posts. They go in from the back. If I can go to the one that I did, you push them in from the back, okay, into the cover. Then you line up your cards, pieces. So some pieces, don't try putting all 20 pages together because you can't line it up. So a few at a time. And then once you get it through, these screw on. Now I haven't tightened mine up. This is why I said you needed a little screwdriver to tighten it up if you want. But the idea now, you see, is
you can open it.
You can open this up, look. Like so. I can take that out, and I've already started to distress some of my pages, look. I can take those out now. I can do what I want with these. I can do my techniques. I can paint those sides. I can stamp. I can do building up with patterns, with layers, with stencils, whatever I want. And once that's dry, I can put it back in my book. I haven't spoilt the other pages in my book. I haven't spoilt my cover, and that goes back on there. And if you do buy our drawing cartridge pack, one piece makes two full pages.
Wow.
And then all you do is take these back again, pop it in the top, and you just literally screw it back on.
And that's how simple, but how amazing, and the quality of the products that you have selected is amazing.
So that just screws back on, and then when you want to, you can look through your book and you can look at all your beautiful work.
Would you score the pages?
You can if you wanted to. If you want to score the pages so it all opens like that, please feel free to do so. It's entirely up to you. If you want to, you can use it as a display book. Then you would take this off, put the screws in, and do a page a day.
Oh, really good.
So you could take this. So you take that out. Okay, I'll just show you. How are we going for time, ladies? So if I take those back off again, look. If you wanted to do it as a display book to display your artwork, you take the cover off. Of course, now it wants to unscrew. Okay,
Yeah.
there's your page for the
Yes.
day. Imagine your artwork on there. Screw that up into
It could
there.
be a calendar.
Could
so
be
you
a
could
calendar.
yeah, you could print. What about doing this for Christmas? And you can print it all out, like the calendars, and you can do artwork in each one for a different
And
members
there
of
you
the
go.
family.
That is, look, is your page for the. Whoops, it will stand because obviously I'm on a rocky desk here. But that's your page for the day. Or you could prop it up.
Yeah.
It does work because I've done it. There we go.
Oh, there it is. Looks like a face even, you know, Roman face in there. That's just amazing.
So this could be, as I say, could be a technique.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's thought at home what they want to do with theirs.
Well, I think for techniques that would be an amazing thing, because then, for instance, with Let Leona Loose or your shows, and then you kind of take a piece of paper, do the technique, then there
put it
have
back
it,
in
and
there.
the back I can write exactly what I want in the bag, and there's so much more that we can do in there. How's it been?
It's been really good.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been, and Veronica?
Yeah, it's been good. Nobody will believe I've actually done what I was told.
It is amazing, isn't it? What good teacher can do. And Lesley, you are an amazing, inspirational
so
teacher. You explain everything so well. And remember, everybody at home, you will have everything on. You know, you can watch it back on the website.
If you have any problems whatsoever, or you're a bit worried that you can't finish it off, or you've missed something, just email me. You know, at sales@chocolatebaroque.com. You can email to Hochanda, who will pass it on to me, and I'll answer your questions for you, or anything like that. But hopefully you have come, and everybody will have a different one to everybody else.
Yes.
This is what we've done today. Look how different all ours are.
Yeah,
Veronica's
look at that.
just finishing off hers at the back there. Can you bring it? Oh, look at that. Look, she's actually scrouched out in the middle, look, so you can see where her clock is.
Look at that. Look at that. I just love mine. I just love everybody else's. And I have had the most amazing Craftalong. Thank you so much, Lesley. Thank you.
Thank you,
David, as well,
everybody.
for the...
Can I just say, Hochanda, thank you so much for giving us, myself and all my other compatriots colleagues, Barbara, John Lockwood, Di Oliver, Catherine, Leonie, Arlen Create, all of us that have done a Craftalong this year, really appreciate the time that we can share with you to do this. Join us again next year. We're going to do it all over again.
Yes, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, and thank you, Lesley. It's been the most amazing, you know, Craftalong, and I hope at home, I mean, I know at home there have been...
Was it worth keeping the day off and coming in for?
Of course it was. Way more than I learned so much, and just been an absolute pleasure. I can't, you know, of course I have to come in my day off too. Thank you everybody who has joined us. Remember that the Craftalong is something that happens and will keep happening with your support, and thank you for joining up, for all the emails, all the messages as well. Lesley will have a look after them. Thank you so much, and keep watching Hochanda. After the break, we have got an amazing show coming up. Thank you.